This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. We continue our coverage of St. Croix's Lime Tree Bay Refinery. Grim news as we've been reporting as the company announces hundreds of layoffs and likely closure of the oil refinery. The Virgin Islands Department of Labor wants employees affected by recent Lime Tree Bay layoffs to know that the department is there to help them. Friday afternoon and evening, they held a rapid response event to help affected workers in need. We're talking about more than 200 employees of Lime Tree Bay Refinery being laid off. The Department of Labor has services available to assist both businesses and individuals under the Rapid Response Program. That's a program where they offer services to help dislocated workers transition to new employment as quickly as possible. Individuals impacted by the recent Lime Tree Bay layoffs were invited to attend the Rapid Response Information Session Friday. It wrapped up around 6 p.m. The employees received information about career services, filing for unemployment insurance, employment opportunities, training, and financial assistance. If you missed the session, you can contact the Department of Labor for more information. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will spend at least 2 decades behind bars. Friday afternoon, a judge handed down a sentence of 22.5 years in prison for the murder of George Floyd. He also can never own a gun again and must register as a predatory offender upon his release from prison. The sentence of more than 22 years was less than the maximum of 40 years in prison, but much more than what Chauvin's defense attorneys wanted. The prosecution had asked for 30 years. Chauvin's attorneys were seeking probation. Chauvin was convicted back on April 20th on all 3 counts for the death of George Floyd while he was a police officer for the Minneapolis Police Department. The judge today said his sentence that he handed down for Chauvin was based on law, not on public opinion or an attempt to send any sort of message. Now to the latest on COVID-19. Positive case counts continue to trend downward in the territory. Take a look. There are currently 50 active COVID cases throughout the territory, with 27 on St. Thomas, which is more than half of what it was earlier this week. 22 cases on St. Croix and just 1 current positive case on St. John. While this is positive news, the VI Department of Health is warning that they're seeing a spike in the UK variant, which is much more contagious, so they continue to advise residents to get vaccinated if they haven't already. And as we've been reporting, COVID-19 deaths have fallen dramatically across the entire country. Average daily deaths are less than a tenth of what they were at the peak of the pandemic. That's according to recent data from Johns Hopkins University. But nearly 300 people are still dying of COVID-19 each day in the U.S., and some groups remain more at risk than others. Here's what you need to know.
As COVID-19 deaths hit record lows, those dying are more disproportionately Black than before. Black people account for about 12.5% of the population, but more than 15% of total COVID-19 deaths. In May, that number jumped to 19%, according to CDC data. The average age of people dying of COVID-19 has also shifted to younger people recently. In May, 59% of deaths were among those under the age of 75.
This virus is an opportunist.
A top U.S. health official says an overwhelming number of those dying of COVID-19 are unvaccinated. There's been a dip in vaccinations across the country, especially among those aged 18 to 39 years old. A CDC survey of that age group shows around 52% are already vaccinated or plan to. 23% said they'd probably get vaccinated or were unsure. And nearly 25% reported they probably or definitely would not get vaccinated.
Nearly every death due to COVID-19 is particularly tragic because nearly every death, especially among adults due to COVID-19, is at this point entirely preventable.
Studies show the vaccines protect people well, even against the newly circulating variants of the virus. The CDC director says as long as there are those who are not vaccinated, COVID-19 will remain a threat.
The Delta variant, first identified in India, now accounts for about 20% of all U.S. COVID-19 cases. That variant is believed to be more easily spread. Again, like the variant we're starting to see more and more here in the territory, the UK variant. Well, continuing our coverage now of athletes from the territory heading to the Olympic Games. With the Tokyo Olympics just around the corner now, USVI Olympians are gearing up for the biggest stage in sports. Making a splash will be St. Croix swimmer Natalia Krupers, one of two St. Croix swimmers who will be competing in Japan. She recently got the official confirmation that she's Tokyo bound, and she says she's grateful for all the people who have been supporting her along the way. And she's more than excited for this opportunity.
Definitely my parents, they definitely got me here. The VIOC for sure, like I did not know where I would be without them and all their support over the years, really. And my coaches, Brian Brady and Katie Cameron. Yeah, it's just been a ride. It's exciting. Yeah, I'm really excited. I was born here and this is my home, and honestly, I don't think there's a bigger honor that I can have than representing the Virgin Islands. I don't know, I don't have words. It's really exciting.
And best of luck to Natalia. We'll of course keep an eye on her progress and keep you posted. Puerto Rico is a beautiful place, of course, with many destinations to discover. This is why the tourism company of Puerto Rico created a new campaign recently to promote the beauty of the island. Our USVI News' Alanis Quinones reports.
Under their slogan, One Island and 78 Destinations, the tourism company of Puerto Rico launched a campaign inviting locals to do safe tourism on the island.
We're so happy with our new launch of One Island and 78 Destinations. Last summer people couldn't travel and couldn't do like vacations because of the pandemic. So this summer there's a lot of intent for people to go on vacation and travel. On a recent study we did, 68% of Puerto Rican and locals are ready to get out of their houses.
Out of this 68%, only 18% already have reservations booked. This led them to identify a group of opportunity within the locals.
We did this campaign with traveling elements. We know that people want to travel and miss traveling, but doesn't feel safe to travel abroad. So we are convincing locals to travel and do internal tourism. And we made this passport, this internal tourism passport, which it has all information for the 78 destinations. And the objective with this is to produce and support all small businesses and the economic impact that could be positive for this summer.
Although the goal is to positively impact local businesses on the island, health and safety are being a top priority.
Puerto Rico Tourism Company launched a health and safety program. So we go to these businesses and hotels and attractions to certify if they are in compliance with all health restrictions. And we are promoting those places to go and do internal tourism safely, always promoting the use of masks and safe distancing.
Now remember to be safe and get your vaccination shot before you go ahead and road trip through the island. Reporting from Puerto Rico, Alanis Quinones.